Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to today's class, brothers and sisters. Inshallah, in today's class, we'll be tending to a need of some of our followers who requested that we use some Quranic recitations to show examples of the attributes of letters. And inshallah, I hope that after the class, we'll have even a better understanding of the attributes of letters, as that is the goal of the class. Now, remember, let's get right into it quickly. Now, remember that in our class, when we talked about the attributes of letters, we said there are two categories of attributes. We have the first category, which is bidid, that is, those with opposites. That when a letter has one, it cannot have the other. And also we said the second category is biladid, those ones that don't have opposites. That is, a letter can have them and still have other attributes along with it as well. So inshallah, let's quickly get into it. Now the first pair is al-hams and al-jahar. Now al-hams are the letters that have the attribute of al-hams. If you remember, we said they are fahathahu, shakhsun, sakat. All the letters that excuse me, all the letters that are used in that sentence. Fahathahu, shakhsun, sakat. Now, if you don't remember the letters, you can refer back to this video where we talked about Sifatul-Huruf, and you will see all the letters written out there. So, from those letters, fahathahu, shakhsun, sakat. Let's set an example. Inshallah, we'll start from, and all our examples, inshallah, we'll make sure the examples are from the last 10 surahs of the Quran and Surah Al-Fatiha, inshallah, so that we can have better understanding of it. Now, the letters of al-hams, as I said earlier, we are going to use them in Surah Al-Ikhlas. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد. We have used some of them there. I hope you are able to get which one we used there. If not, okay, let's get right into it. It is ha that I chose. It's not the only one I've used there, but it's what I chose as my example. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. Did you see? Ha. Now, what is the attribute of al-hams about? It is that there's a voicelessness when you articulate that letter. That is, if you touch your vocal cord, there isn't a vibration while you articulate those letters. And also, there's a release of air when you articulate the letter. So, ahad. Take note, it's not ahad, it's ahad. Ha. Then the opposite is al-jahar. Al-jahar are those ones that when you articulate them, there's a vibration in the vocal cord, and there isn't as much release of air as it is when we articulate them. That same verse that we used. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. You can say qaf. Qaf is an example of a letter that has the attribute of al-jahar. As you know that all those letters that are not having the attribute of al-hams are having the attribute of al-jahar. So qaf is one of them. Qul, you see how you articulate them, there's a vibration in your vocal cord and there isn't as much release. So قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. Now, the other letters in that verse I choose qaf as my example really. Now, ashidda. Ashidda is the attribute that when letters exhibit that attribute, there's a strong production when you produce them. There's a plosiveness that comes with it. That is, when you articulate them, there's like a block of air, then the release of it. A block of air and the release of it. When you are it's just like an explosion, like that's why you have that word plosiveness. So the letters that are attributes are ajid, cotton, bakat. Ajid, cotton, bakat. All those letters that are there, you can refer back to the video of Sifatul-Huruf if you don't remember as well. Oh, okay. Now let's look at that letter in our surah. Let's go to Sifatul-Falaq. Yes. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ. قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ. You can see the qaf at the end and also at the beginning. قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ. So you can see how you articulate those letters. There's like a plosiveness. Falako, falako, ul. Yes, so that is for shidda. Now all other letters other than those 8 are the letters of Rokhawa. Yes, in that same verse, Qul a'udhu bi rabbil falaq. I chose A'in as an example. A'udhu, a'udhu. So you see, when you actually a'udhu, there isn't any plosiveness that comes with it at all. That comes with it at all. So that is for Rokhawa. All other letters that are not included in that shidda have their shidda Rokhawa. You can practice it and you see that that is actually the attribute that they exhibit. Now the next pair is al-isti'la and al-istifal. Al-isti'la is the attribute of letters, and when we articulate those letters, there's an elevation of the tongue to the upper palate, that's the back of the mouth. There's an elevation. And the letters that have these attributes are kha, qaf, Ghain, Sad, Da, Ta, Za. These 7 letters. So they are also referred to as Huruf al-Tafkhim, that is the thick letters. Because when you articulate them, there's a thickness that comes with it. Because of the elevation of the tongue to the roof of the mouth, the upper palate. So, example of such letters, you can find it in Surah An-Nas. من شر الوسواس الخناس من شر الوسواس الخناس خا. And take note, it is not ko, it is not khonnas, and it is not kannas, it's khonnas. That's for isti'la. And then istifal. For al-istifal, all other letters other than those 7 have the actual istifal. And when we articulate them, the tongue is natural, it's in a natural state, not going, at least that back of the tongue is not going up, it's not being elevated. So let's take those, there are 2 letters that we do make a mistake when we articulate them and start to give them the isti'la attributes. They are mim and nun. Qul a'udhu bi rabbin nas, not bi rabbin nas. Take note, it's bi rabbin nas, malikin nas. So that is for al-istifal. Now the next pair is al-itbaq and al-infitah. Al-itbaq means that back of the tongue that we say is elevated in isti'la is even contracting against that upper palate. And it means that if that is the case, it means that the letters of the back must also be letters of isti'la. But then, just some of them. We have 4. Short, dot, torso. That have the attribute of itbaq. Their own elevation is much more than kha, ghain, and qaf. So, for example, at the end of Surah Al-Fatiha, غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا الضَّالِّينَ. That do. Yes. So that's an example of al-itbaq. Then al-infitah, all other letters other than those 4. Yes. When you articulate those ones, that back of the tongue is not touching the roof of the mouth, the upper palate. So example of that, Inna a'tainaka al-kawthar. I use my example as sa, kal-kawthar, sa. So in the that back of the tongue is not contracting against the roof of the mouth, the upper palate. Now that is for the attributes with opposites. Now let's go to the attributes without opposites. The first one is aswafir. If you remember when we talked about aswafir, we said the letters that have this attribute of aswafir is sin, shod, and zayi. And in the explanation, we gave we liken the sound of sin to be like the hissing of the snake. and that of short to be the whistling of the sparrow. And then zayu like the buzz of a bee. So let's pick a verse that has that sin and sword in Surah Al-Fatiha. Ihdina Shiratal Mustaqim. Ihdina Shiratal Mustaqim. Did you hear that? Shiratal Mustaqim. Shiratal Mustaqim. So that is short and sin. It should not be called the same way, and many people make this mistake. That is also why we need the tutelage of an ustad. Because sometimes some people think they are pronouncing sin correctly or sword correctly, and they are not. So it's important that while we have an idea that this is how to pronounce this, we still need the tutelage of an ustad to put us through. That no, it's this way. Even if you think you are getting it, you still need someone to assess you and evaluate you. So let's go to the next one, which is al-qalqala. Al-qalqala is that attribute that when letters exhibit, when they have that attribute, when we apply sukun on those letters, then there will be a small vibration sound. It's like a vibration sound that comes along with it. So if you refer back to the second part of Sifatul-Huruf, where we talk about qalqala, we talked about qalqala to sughra and qalqala to kubra. But in this video, all we want to do is just give us example of how qalqala is articulated. Now, the letters that have the qalqala are qaf, ta, ba, jim, dal. So we can see this in Sifatul-Falaq. Let's use Sifatul-Falaq and Sifatul-Ikhlas. So, قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ. قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ. Take note to say falaq, not falaq. Like some students to see. That is not correct. You are giving it the first vowel like that. Falaq is wrong. It's falaq. Just a small vibrating sound on it. Also, قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ, not ahad. Like some say, it's ahad. So that is for qalqala. Also the next one is alim. Alim is his. Those letters that when we articulate them, they come with ease, and that is waw sukun and yaw sukun. Take note that waw sukun is not the same as waw mad. Yaw sukun is not the same as yaw mad. Yaw mad is when the letter has kasra and is followed by yaw sukun. That yaw sukun is called yaw mad, not yaw sukun. But when the letter has fatha and is followed by yaw, then that yaw is yaw sukun. Likewise, when letter has fatha and is followed by waw, that is waw sukun. But when letter has dhamma and is followed by waw, that one is waw mad. So, and that waw and yaw mad are used to elongate those letters that they are after. Yes, but the attribute of lim is exhibited by waw sukun and yaw sukun. And we can see this in Surah Al-Quraish. بِإِلَافِ قُرَيْشٍ إِلَافِهِمْ رِحْلَةَ الشِّتَاءِ وَالصَّيْفِ. You see that at the end of Surah Al-Quraish. At the end of Surah Al-Quraish. So we'll see the exhibition of the attribute of lim by those letters. Some might be wondering that why am I saying Quraish? That will treat in a coming lesson, inshallah. It's modulain. There's a module called modulain, and that's what we are exhibiting there. Now the next one is al-inhiraf. Al-inhiraf is deflection. The letters that when you articulate them, they start from their point of articulation and then they are deflected away from that point of articulation. And letters that have attributes are lam and ra. Example in Sifatul-Huruf. Lam yalid wa lam yulad. Lam yalid wa lam yulad. Lam. See? If you remember, when we're talking about Makharij-ul-Huruf, in the video about Makharij-ul-Huruf, we said that the point of articulation of lam, that's the tip of the tongue. You're touching the alveolar, that is the back of the root of the incisors here. Yes. Al. Yes. So when we articulate lam, it starts from that point and then it's deflected away from that place. Lam, lam. You can practice and then you will see. And that is the attribute of al-inhiraf. Only lam and ra have that attribute. Now the other one is at-takrir. At-takrir is the rolling of the tongue when we act. As you know, only ra has this attribute. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. And take note, I'm saying it once again, like I said in the video while I discussed at-takrir, do not say Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, not Ar. Continuous rolling of this is an overdo. Don't overdo it, you're going to spoil it. Like they say, too much sauce spoils the broth. Yes, when you have too much, you're going to spoil it. So that's like you are saying too many rocks like that than necessary. So at-takrir, that's the attribute of at-takrir. The next one is at-tafashi. At-tafashi, there's only one letter that also has this attribute, and that's the shin. That's when you articulate it, there's a spread of air that is released. Ash, ash, ash. Yes. So min sharril waswasil khannas. Min sharril waswasil khannas. Take note, that's for shin. And the last one is al-istitala. Al-istitala, only one letter to has that attribute, and that is dod. 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 When you articulate dod, remember I'm talking about the Sifatul-Huruf. The side of your tongue will be raised up, and then the tip of the tongue will also be raised up to touch the alveolar, that upper part of the mouth. Will touch it, but then you should not touch it. It should not be too strong when you're touching it. That is that tip of the tongue, because when it's too strong, that's when you pronounce door, door, and it's not door, it's not door, door, door. So as I say door, the side of the tongue is raising up, the tip of the tongue is touching the mouth, but then like moving forward. Door, wala, door, this requires practice. It requires practice, and also if you have the supervision of an ustaz, it makes it even easier. So may Allah grant us beneficial understanding of this. Now, I expect that with this much example, we have even a better understanding of the attributes of letters and how they exhibit these attributes when we articulate them. The goal is for us to have better understanding of this. May Allah grant us beneficial knowledge, ease of understanding, and success in all our endeavors. Until we meet again in our next class, it is me, your friend and brother, Abu Zubair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.